Good afternoon, guys. Uh, this time I'm going to make another video about drop limits due to depth of water in ports, or in other words, drop limit in brackish water. So let's start, guys. So this is exercise number 5.21. This is a four-size vessel. Let me see. Let me show you the vessel. Capacity. Nora. Okay. This is a four-size vessel. So this yellow color is this one, or show you this one. So this is a cargo hold vessel. So it's a small vessel, guys. So start. So the problem says Evinara is scheduled to load at Bombay, which is in India. The port maximum drop is 9.15 at density of 1.016. Find the maximum quantity of cargo to load, meaning what is the maximum cargo to load to the drop that she has estimated weight already on board as this departure as follows. The ship's displacement to load maximum cargo without exceeding the drop limit, meaning we will not exceed the drop of 9.15 because we will not exceed this one. In other words, there's a limit. Number 2, find her saltwater departure drop. Saltwater departure drop, and find the amount of cargo that she can load if her ROB at departure as follows. FO 1270 metric tons, DO 28 metric tons, LO is 15 metric tons, and freshwater is 275 metric tons, ballast is 60 metric tons, constant is 190 metric tons, total of 1838. Okay, so I'll show you the graph that I made. Here's the ROB, and total is 1838. Okay, so it is confirmed. I'm sorry. So this is step 1. We have already made the ROB, and step 2 is limiting drop of 9.15. What is saltwater of departure drop of 9.15? So we put 9.15. Put here. This is saltwater 1.7. So we put 9.15, 9.15, and put here 9.15. So with this saltwater density, what is her displacement? This displacement would be this one, 29477.6, or this one, 294776. Okay, we'll check. So displacement is 294776. This one is 116. Okay. So what will be his displacement if the density is 1.16? Density is 1.16. Okay. So what will be this displacement if the density floats at 1.016? Okay, we'll check. So here, density is 1.016, and look at the formula, guys. To get the displacement of the brackish water is the saltwater displacement times the local density over 1.025, which is constant. Again, this is the saltwater displacement, which is this one, times your local density 1.016 over constant of 1.025. So take note of this formula, guys. So we will apply it to the program. Okay, so you click here because this is the lookup displacement, and here's the formula. Saltwater displacement is H33, H and 3T. This is 29477.6. What is the displacement? Is 49477.6. So almost the same. Okay, so go times your local density, which is this one, 1.016, which is J33. I'm sorry, J36. This one, J36, which is 1.016 over constant of 1.025. Okay. Again, displacement is H33, which is this one, times your density, local density of 1.016, which is J36, and over 1.025. Then you press enter. The corresponding drop would be 9.076. Check, guys. I'm sorry. The corresponding drop would be 9.076. This one. Okay. So this is the corresponding drop of this local density 1.016. Now the question is, the ship's displacement to load amount cargo without exceeding ship's displacement. So the displacement of seawater is 29477.6. that is seawater. But in brackish water, the displacement would be 29218.34. So since we are floating in a brackish water of the density of local density 1.016, so we will use this displacement. So we go to step 3. Let's answer the problem. So we know already the saltwater, find the saltwater drop is 9.15. This is the saltwater departure drop. Find the amount of cargo to load which you can. So it's asking for the ROB. So this one, we use since we are floating in a density of 1.016, so we will use this brackish water displacement, which is 29218. Okay, so with 29218 minus your light shift, then that will be dead weight. So dead weight will be 22,446.34 plus minus your ROV, remaining overboard of 1838, which is this one. Then your maximum cargo to load is 20,608.34. So this will be your maximum cargo to load. We have computed our maximum cargo to load, so which is 20,608.34. So this will be our maximum cargo to load. So in step number 4, it is considered that the stowage factor is 45 cubic feet per metric tons. Now, what is the use of this stowage factor? This stowage factor is used if we want to know exactly how much are we going to load in each hold. So we have to use the stowage factor to get a percentage of each hold we are going to load. Okay, so with this formula, where can I find this stowage factor? So this is one example of stowage factor conversion table. Say here, cubic feet per long ton, cubic feet per metric tons, cubic meter per metric tons, and so forth and so forth. So we are concerned only with this cubic feet per metric tons and cubic meter per metric tons, which is this one. I'm sorry. Cubic feet per metric tons. Okay, so from cubic feet metric tons, we will convert it to cubic meters per metric tons. So this is the formula, guys. So cubic feet per metric tons divided by 3531467. So this is constant. So the answer would be 1.274 cubic meter. Okay, so how I'll show you how to use this in Excel. Okay, Excel. Okay, I have already put here the value of 45 cubic feet per metric tons and the constant of 35314.7. Okay, so the formula, guys, is 45 divided by 35.3147, and the answer would be 1.274 metric tons. So by using this Excel, you put equals, just click the 45, which is B2. Okay, then you divide, sign of division, then click the constant of 353147, which is B4, then you press enter. Okay, so 1.274.257. To get the decimal of three places, you right click here, then you scroll and find these format cells, then you go to numbers, and here's the decimal places. It should be 3. You go add 1. You see, guys, 1.274, and then you click OK. There you go. Okay, so this one solution, very short solution. This is a very short solution. This is the best that I could see, this solution. And there's another way, by interpolation. I'm sorry, is it interpolation? Yeah, interpolation. So we go to the interpolation. and this one. Okay, you see guys, here we are concerned about 45 cubic feet per metric ton, so 45. So when we go to the source factor, so cubic feet per cubic meter, so we go to 45. Since we don't have exact 45, so he is in between 44.29 and 45.27, so he is in between. So we will interpolate here, and the conversion of this 45.27 is equivalent to 1.2882 cubic feet per cubic meter. So he is in between also here. The 45 value of 45 is in between here. So with these two figures, we will take out this one, 44.29 and 45.27, and I will show you here. So 44.29 and 45.27, so 45 is in between. Likewise, on the other side, we get the value of the cubic meter per metric tons. That will be 1.254 and 1282. 1254. That will be this one. So the equivalent of this one is 1.254, and the equivalent of 2527 is 1.282. So it is in between here. But we don't know the value of this in between, so we have to interpolate. The first thing is you get 45 minus 44.9 is 0.7, and 45.27 minus 44.29 is 98. Okay. On the other side, that will be x, and 128 minus 125 is 0.28. Okay. So with this value, you put 71 over 98. Then here is x over 0.28. Okay. You cross multiply these two, this will you get this number, and you multiply this with x, you get 98x. To get the value of x, you put down 98, and there will be a division. So with this figure, divide it with 0.98, and the answer will be 0.02026, okay, which is this one. So with this value, now take note guys, from 44.29 you go up to 45. So from this value you have to go up, meaning you have to add to get the value of this one. So with this value of 1.025 plus the value of this one, that will be 127.4. okay, so it's the same, but I would prefer this one, which is very easy. Okay, just use this this program. It's very easy. So I just repeat it, guys. Repeat it. Was you press 45, then you put the division, divide, and this one is, then press enter. See? So that's it, guys. Then we go, I'm sorry. So we get the value of 45 cubic feet per metric tons is equal to 1.274 cubic meter per metric tons. Now where we go with this formula, guys, we would like to know what will be the percentage if we put the total cargo of 20,680.24. So we want to know what is the percentage. So this is the formula. The cargo weight, which is a total cargo, times the stowage factor, which is this one, over the total capacity of the cargo hold, times 100. So the cargo hold weight is this one, 20,608.34, times your stowage factor of, which is this one, 1.27 cubic feet per metric tons, over the capacity, total capacity of your cargo hold. So where can I find this one? That way, this one, we have to find this in your capacity table, which is this one. So list of tanks and capacities, 100% full. So this is your cargo hold. This is the capacity for each hold, cubic meter. So the total capacity is 31958.8. So we will take note of this, guys. That will be the total capacity of your cargo. 319,580. 31958.8, which is this one, guys. 3158.80. Okay. So doing the process of equation, okay, so I put here the total cargo weight, which is 20,608.34, which is this one, 2608.34, and the stowage factor of 1.27 cubic meter per metric tons, and the hold capacity is 31958.8, which is this one. $31958.8. Okay. So with this, with percentage, fuel percentage, the formula is cargo weight times size factor over total hold capacity times 100. Okay. So that is 20,608.34 times your stowage factor, 127.4, divided by the total capacity hold of 31958.8 times 100. Okay, and the answer will be 82%. Okay, we'll check this one. This one. So this weight, cargo weight, times your stowage factor of this one over your total hold capacity. Cargo hold capacity is 31958. Okay. So first you have to multiply these two. You will have 26255.03 over this value, then times 100. Okay. You divide this one. You have a value of 0.0821527 times 100. Then you will get 82.15 to 7.3%, or I thought round it up, you have 82%. So this is the formula, guys, how to get the percentage formula. Okay, and we'll go back. So we have done this one. Now in addition, guys, in addition to this, our departure draft will be in brackish water will be 9.07. Okay, 9.07. Take note of this. So our departure draft in brackish water will be 9.07 of the density 1.016. Okay, so we try to put these guys in our program. So departure is 9.07, let's say forward, and up is 9.07. So we have no trim, even keel, and let's say our forward mid port is 9.07. Sorry, our departure drop is 9.07. Okay, 9.07. That will be our departure drop. Okay, and like I said, the foreman came on board and wants to know how much remaining cargo are going to load, so that we will reach our target, our drop of 9.07. So with the drop surveyor together with me, or as chief officer, so we went down around the vessel and to read the drop forward, up, and midship. And for example, we both agreed that our forward drop will be 8.70. Okay, I'm sorry, 8.70, and our updraft is 8.80. Okay, plus minus plus okay. That will be your trim. So we have a mid drop of 8.25, which I port. We both agree that our midship port is 8.73, and our starboard mid is 8.77. So I have a list on starboard side of 4 centimeters, and now I have a sinkage of 32 centimeters. Okay. Why? How did I get then? Your final drop or final departure drop of 9.07 minus your mid drop of 8.75, you will have a sinkage of 0.32 meters or 32 centimeters. Okay, so with this 32 centimeters, you will get how much cargo will be remaining cargo to load for trimming, recommended cargo for trimming. So with this, you press this one, and the formula would be K8, which is K and 8, that is the sinkage, times 100 times M3, M and 3, that will be your TPC. The TPC of your departure drop of 9.07, to get the interpolation, the exact TPC, so you have to interpolate, and the value would be reached to 35.11, which is this one. Okay, so this will be your recommended cargo to load for trimming. Okay, so what is the formula again? Sinkage, which is K8, this one, times 100 times your TPC of M3, which is this one, and you will get the value of remaining cargo to load will be 1,123. Okay, so follow the arrow, then you put this value of 1,000, let's say 1,024, 1,124. Okay, once you load 1,124, your mid-drop will be 9.07, which is almost the same, and your sinkage will be 0.32, which is almost the same. Okay, then you go to trim holes 2. Go to trim holes 2. Take note that your remaining cargo is here. Remaining cargo to load is 1,124 and 1,124. Your trimming hole will be 1 and 4. Okay, so let's say you want a trim of 10 centimeters, 0.10. So that will be your trim. Your desired trim will be 10 centimeters. How much would you load in hole number 1 and hole number 4? So you load in hole number 1 of 470. Okay, you put here 470. 470 in number 1, and you will load in number 4 of 654. 654. And what will be your final drop? Your final drop forward will be 9.02. Your up drop will be 9.12, which is a trim of 10 centimeters, and your wind drop will be 9.07. Okay, so you have zero deflection, which is good. Okay, and the other side, you get this. Number 1 will be 470, which is this one. Okay. Number 1 470, and number 4 is 654, total of 1,124. Then you scroll down, your forward drop will be 9.02, and your up drop will be 9.12. Okay, you have a trim of 10 centimeters, and your mid drop is 9.07, and you have zero deflection. Okay, so what if you want to depart of even keel? No list, so you put zero trim. I'm sorry, no trim. You have zero trim. How much would you load in number 1? Number 1, you should load 428. Put 428. And number 4, you load 696. Number 4, 696. Here, 696. And your final drop will be 9.07, 9.7. So your deflection is 0. Good. Okay. And on the other side, and number 1, you load 428, and number 4, 696, total of 1,124, and your final drop will be 9.07, 9.07, no trim, and 9.7. So you have a zero deflection. Take note, guys, that what is important is once you load this value of remaining cargo to load of 1,124, this one, then your mid drop will be 9.07, which is also the same with your final departure drop, this one. So this is very important. And your sinkage of 0.32 should almost be the same with this one. So it's very good, guys. So that's it, guys. I hope you like this video, and if you like, please click the like button, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell. Okay, thanks and have a good day.